All right. I'm going to ask you some real serious questions. Number one, you like time travel? Number two, there it is, two, you like zombies? If you answered both yes to those questions, if you answered yes to both questions, then Charles Band's Trancers might be the film for you. And Trancers stars a young Helen Hunt, right, when she was first up and coming, and the B-movie hero known as Tim Thomerson. Now, Trancers, as I said, deals with time traveling zombies. Whoa. Eat your heart out, George Romero. So, the basic premise of the movie is a little similar to Terminator, right? To save the future, you have to go back to the past, right? It's kind of how it goes. So what happens is in the future, there's this bad guy, right? This wicked evil dude named Whistler, right? And he's called Whistler, well, because he kind of whistles in people's ears, or people hear like a more menacing, right? And then they go crazy. Like he takes over them, and then they become like zombie people, right? And there's this one hard-boiled detective, right? Kind of like Rick Deckard, from Blade Runner, and Kyle Reese mixed together, but with really blonde and slicked back hair, right? And that's Tim Thomerson's character, Jack Death, right? Who is on the case trying to stop Whistler. Now, Whistler realizes as long as there's a Jack Death, he's going to be up a creek without a paddle, right? He's destined to do this battle forever. So he decides to defeat him. He's going to go back in the past, right? To kill Jack Death before he's ever born, right? And that time period is the 80s. So Whistler goes back in time, and how time travel in this works is your consciousness transfers to the ancestor you had in that era, right? So Whistler has transferred to his relative, his ancestor, in 1985, and that dude is a police detective, right? So he's got a gun, he has access to the force, he has access to civilian locations, and he starts killing off members of the police board and politicians in the future, right? So the remaining ones get Jack Death, and they convince him to go back in time to stop Whistler once and for all, right? Well, they want to bring him back to the future to stand trial, but we all know what's really going to happen to Whistler, okay? So Jack Death does so, right? So he travels from the future, goes back into his ancestor's consciousness, and that gentleman is a little bit of a flamboyant playboy and kind of a jerk. So anyhow, now he's inhabiting that dude's body, and that specific fella was hooking up with a young Helen Hunt. And, now you have like this awkwardness between the two because she thinks he's someone he's not, and he has no idea where anything is, or located in 1985 or how to be, right? It's very fish out of water. So in a sense, he needs her more than the other way around. But like as it goes on, the two, they get closer, right? They, become romantic together, right? Like they both have a fondness for each other. And like as partners, right? Both romantically and, business-wise. They need each other. Or he needs her more so. But anyhow, so together they're going to take on the evil Whistler, right? And sure, there's some, goofy parts where you're like, yeah, I don't know. But like, look at it this way, okay? You had Terminator, right? Big movie, right? Or became a big movie, big hit, right? And, Charles Band clearly noticed that and tried to mimic it to suit him, in a smaller production. And I guess that's kind of what's cool about, you know, B movies. They, in a sense, they pay homage. It might seem like ripping off, but they're paying homage to something that was successful, and, you know, they're being creative. And, you know, the actors in Trancers very much seem like they want to take you on this adventure and, you know, for you to have a good time, you know. And I think that is something. You know, you never know. Maybe this inspires you to go out and try and make your own version of Star Wars or your own version of Lord of the Rings or something like it, you know? And that's really awesome. And I hope that does that for you and you come up with your own movie in that way. So Trancers, I would say, is like a solid, you know, 3 stars. 3 stars out of 5. Definitely some goofy parts, but it's a fun ride. You know, so definitely check out Trancers. I'm really thinking that whole pitch of time-traveling zombies is what's going to do it for people. So I hope you dig it, and I will see you in the next video.